Hey, what's good, everybody? Hey, man, it's your boy. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's been a long time that has not been up to me, but we gonna get into it, baby. So y'all already know what it is. Let's go. Hey, what's good, everybody? Hey, man, if you're new to the channel, baby, hope you guys like this video. Make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, man. Make sure to go ahead and get in them comment section too. Let me know what you thought about the video. But if you've been here before, baby, welcome back. It's been a long time, like I said in the beginning, man. Where do I start is really the question. It's been a lot that's happened. I know my last video of like me, it was maybe July of like 2020, and we in June of 2021. That has not been my design at all. Man, like it's just been a whole lot. Mainly, the main thing that has been happening though is school. That's the main thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and break it down. It's like school, dealing with like career type stuff. Not gonna lie, dealing with girls too, and all of that. My own love life, since I don't talk about it enough. But we're gonna definitely talk about that a little bit today, and maybe we'll talk about some other things down the road. But hey, man, like those been like the main three things, and it's like been a whole combination of just little minor things or whatnot. And so we here now, but I definitely got time, and I've like definitely missed you guys, cause I know just me personally, whenever I'm not doing videos, whenever I'm not doing my podcast, definitely make sure to check out the podcast, baby. We done dropped 2 new ones, and them took a minute too, but I'm back on the podcast grind as well. But make sure to check those out. They'll be in the description box below, maybe in the check card above too, man. But been back on that grind too, but like I said, like, it's just been a whole lot of stuff happening. But I'm back, and so let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, baby, let's go. Number 1, so school. School has been literally the thing that made me stop getting on my grind. Like, I'm not even finna lie to you guys. So way back when, 2020, LOL, it ain't been that long, but 2020 felt like 10 years in itself. But way back when, August 2020, I had a podcast with my mentor, Dr. Gardner, or one of my mentors at this point. If you haven't seen it yet, go ahead and go check that out, man. Definitely on my YouTube, but also on my podcast, Spotify podcast, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, some other podcasts and platforms as well. The James Chapman podcast. Y'all already know what it is, man. Don't play. Just don't play. But school really took my time, and so after that podcast, I think it was like a week or like 2 weeks, and then school started. So y'all already know what the deal is with me coming back, or you should know the deal is with me coming back to school last fall when I was supposed to be on co-op, but COVID happened, and so I had to come back to school. Last fall, I started the fall semester. I was doing so in my classes and everything like that. And then I was like, all right, I gotta make some plans for what I'm gonna do. I did make like a whole list of like videos that I wanted to do. Made a whole list of guests that I want on my podcast, different things I want to talk about on my podcast as well. But as time progressed along in the semester, and as more and more stuff got piled onto me, it took me a minute to fall back into the grind of how school was. Because I was gone away for a whole semester, even though I took summer classes. But it's just different when you're here in the fall and the spring. It just is. Especially when you're on campus. That's completely different world, baby. Like, completely different. But I did that, and also I had moved into a new apartment, so I wasn't in the dorms no more. Last dorm I stayed in was Mosley. For those of you who go to Mississippi State or know anything about Starkville, Mississippi State, stayed in Mosley last year. I was only there for a semester. That's because I left for the spring semester for my co-op. So I was moving to a new apartment too. Had to deal with the new roommates that I had. I had 3 roommates. They were all alright guys, but I really don't even want to get into a whole lot of that, because it's funny. I said I was going to make a video about it, but I'm glad I talked myself out of that one, man. So, but anyway, we passed all that because I'm done with them now. It's the summertime. Moved into a new place, getting a 2-bedroom now. So I had a 4-bedroom. I'm still currently in it technically right now, but I'm finna get up out of here, go to that 2-bedroom. But back to school. So school really took a lot of my time. That first like test week or time area range, y'all know what I'm trying to say. Testing week, however they call it. It really put me in perspective of how it is that I was doing in the semester, and how far along I was from being back last fall, back in 2019, man. So I really had to hunker down on my stuff, and it was so crazy because also my 3rd year or 2nd year on the e-board, I can't remember, for one of my organizations, National Society of Black Engineers. NSBE for short, for those of you that know what it is. For those of you that don't, look it up, tell somebody, especially if you're a black engineer, a minority engineer actually as a whole, because we welcome everybody, baby. It's not just black people. But I was definitely dealing with a lot of that too, being the treasurer this past year. A little bit more responsibility, but just with the culmination of like basically a whole new e-board except for like maybe 4 or 5 people. So it was just a whole lot dealing with that. And then that's the fall semester, we didn't even have a full e-board. We didn't get a full 14, 15 person e-board until the spring. So that was just a whole nother thing in itself. But I definitely was dealing with that too. And then just trying to get back in the swing of things. I got out of Mox, Men of Excellence, for any of you who know what that is. I know it's in a few schools here in Mississippi. I don't know about outside necessarily, but yeah, I got out of Men of Excellence. I just wasn't feeling it anymore. I didn't feel like I was truly making an impact. Feel like I was belonging or actually ingrinding in the brotherhood type thing that was going on. So I got out of that. I did some other things that I was really trying to do to clear my mind or whatnot. Mind you, I'm still like only, what's this, August, September, what's that, like 6 months from my breakup and things like that, and just going over the summer and not really talking to anybody too, and different things like that as well. So it's just a whole lot of stuff going on. But dealing with that testing week and getting those tests back and realizing, okay, this semester gonna be a little rough. It's just gonna be just a little bit, but it turned out to be a lot of bit. So I had to really hunker down on that, man. And my whole goal and objective this semester was to not make a C. And what did your boy do? He came out with that thing with like 4 or 5 C's. So it was definitely my worst semester of my whole college career. Actually, since I've been in school, it was my worst semester ever. Like, I've never had that many C's as a final grade in a semester. But it is what it is, baby. But so I actually had a chance to make 2 videos. It was like a life update video, and then there was a video about like voting, because it was around that time when I had really got a chance to get back into doing a video. I caught myself on a free weekend. It was funny that I did that, because that like next day, I think I did a video on like Saturday, and then like Sunday, it was like I just got hit with everything all over again. And then that whole week started turning out being more busy, and then voting happened. And well, no, that was like 2 weeks later or something like that. But it was just a whole bunch of stuff going on there with more tests and everything like that. And I was like, I didn't get a chance to edit my videos, and I felt so bad. But I was like, maybe I can still use one of these. And more schools started going, the weeks started going by, and I was like, I just never ever got a chance to give back to those videos. I think I finally deleted them after the spring semester. But it was like, dang, man, a whole bunch of stuff happened to where I couldn't get to it. So also, just dealing with, wanting that semester to be over, I was like, all right, once the semester's over, I'm gonna definitely get back on my grind during December. And I didn't. I was caught up in some other stuff, trying to work too, and I just never got around to it. So fast forwarding over December, even though it was actually kind of long, because we got an extra 2 weeks, something like that, because of COVID. So they shortened the fall semester, so we got out literally the week of Thanksgiving. And we didn't go back to school, which was amazing, but they're not going to do that again. So it kind of sucks, but at the same time, I did get a chance, I got to experience that. Going to the spring semester, though, we didn't get a spring break. So getting out early for Thanksgiving, along with COVID, and they're kind of shortening the semester, we didn't get a spring break this year. So it's really sucked, because a lot of schools, especially in Mississippi, they still got a spring break. But you know, it is what it is, baby. But the spring semester, doing a little bit more of the same things in terms of school, being on the e-board, trying to figure out myself. I was also in another organization, well, I'm still in it currently, called ACDC Visionary. If you want me to explain it to you, I can, like the comment section. If you go to Mississippi State, you should definitely look into it. The Holmes Cultural Diversity Center. I'm pretty sure I talked about it previously before. If you've listened to my podcast with my mentor, Dr. Gardner, if you also listen to a podcast that I just dropped Friday on that one. No, I dropped I think I dropped the video and the podcast Friday or whatnot, because y'all know I do videos and just the audios for the podcast. It depends on how I'm feeling. I might drop both, I might not drop both. But anyway, so I'm pretty sure I talked about it there as well. But ACDC, Holmes Cultural Diversity Center, big thing here at Mississippi State for all the diversity hub things that go here with all the different organizations that we have here on campus, ranging from all different ethnicities, and sexual orientations as well, man. So just one big hub, one big group that actually supports each other and does things throughout the whole Starkville community and throughout Mississippi State as a whole, man. So I definitely had that going on as well. The fall semester, we didn't necessarily do a whole lot. The spring semester, it was like stuff was just going crazy, and I guess the way they're driven is you really have to have things going on campus, especially when it comes to the different diversity groups as well, man. And we didn't have a lot going on, so there wasn't necessarily a need for us to do a lot of work. But anyway, the spring semester, it went way, way, way better than the fall semester, and I really thank God for that, because even though I finished the semester at 1C, I think it was in genetics, and Lord have mercy, that class was rough. That class was rough. Like, I don't even want to talk about it. I really don't. Like, genetics can stay where it's at. It can stay where it's at. But anyway, spring semester was definitely better. I was still caught up in everything though. Like, I had little time to do whatever it is that I wanted to do. Like, I barely had time to go out and do any photo shoots. I think I did like one by myself. It was kind of like a mini photo shoot, but that was at the end of the semester. And then it's like I couldn't even get the chance to make any videos. And the funny thing is, also, going back to the fall semester, I made like 2 or 3 vlogs. And I never got a chance to work on those videos either and post those. Well, also, I just didn't like how the vlogs look, but it is what it is, man. But so going back here in the spring semester, I also had a chance to go back to the career fair in the fall and the spring. But this time in the spring, the career fair actually worked for me. I had 3 interviews. I had 2 interviews earlier in the semester, if I'm not mistaken, but none of those went anywhere. That was actually my 2 worst interviews that I ever did before in my life. One of them was actually both of them were like phone interviews or whatever. But like I said, they didn't go nowhere. But this interview ended up landing me a co-op, and if you know what that is, if you don't know what that is what I meant to say. It's like an internship program, but for engineers. I think they do it for some other fields as well, but it's for engineers, and it's basically like an internship, but it's a rotation of semesters. So you can go 2 or 3, sometimes even 4 semesters, depending on what type of life you got going on. But you get to have more and more experience, basically, and you get to ingrain yourself more into that company more as well. So that's basically what a co-op is. If you definitely know what an internship is, you can relate that across the different streaming lines. But anyway, got a chance to do that. I'm working with Centerpoint Energy. I had never heard of that company until I got to the career fair this past spring in school and everything like that, but it's been a great experience there. I could definitely talk about my co-op experience for this one compared to my last one, and just overall stuff when it comes to career fairs and talking to different employers and different things like that as well, man. But I can just do a whole separate video on that. And I need to write that down. So let me write that down somewhere at some point along the time. But that really helped and everything. That really relieved a lot of my stress and just worries about the semester as well. But I kept grinding. I kept my mind focused. I finished the semester. I had to take all 5 of my final exams, which wasn't, well, 4 of them. But I had a project in that other class. But it wasn't too bad, man. Like I said, I finished the semester at 1C. I think I had like 3 A's and like 2 B's as well. One of them A's came out of nowhere, so I wasn't complaining. I was just praising God, because that's what we do. We just praise God, let it go in His hands, and we just keep doing what we do to try to make the best grades possible. But school definitely took a lot of my time, and my goal was actually. And number 2, baby, career-wise. So, going back to COVID year 2020, I had, like I said previously in the video, at a co-op. It was at Georgia Pacific. I was in Bruton, Alabama. If you don't know where that is. It's literally like an hour away from Mobile, Alabama, and that's like an hour away from Pensacola. So the different ways, it's like in between in that sense or whatnot. But anyway, I had a co-op there, and then when COVID happened really badly and it started to ramp up some, I asked my employer where we're going to finish this semester. Well, technically I just asked my HR rep who was there at the plant itself, and then my manager. We were going to have a chance to finish the semester, and they basically told us that it was that they were giving us the chance to do that, but it was also up to us as well, whether we wanted to stay here or go home. The funny thing about that, My roommate at the time, who was also one of the co-ops there, he was just in a different department than I was. If anybody who wanted to know what department I was in the paper department itself, where the paper, where all the materials and whatnot came into the machine, made the paper, and it came out as like big rolls and stuff like that, and then went off to like the shipping department or whatever. But my roommate, he loved actually. Don't really know the whole logistics behind that. I asked him, he only told me so much. Part of it was he was scared of COVID and everything like that, just wanted to be around his family. And then a part of me feels like the other part, I don't know. So I didn't really want to bug him about it either because it's personal, you know, everything like that. And I just really didn't see the need for me to even press any of those buttons at all. So I got a chance to finish. And the funny thing is, the reason why I had to come back to school in the fall is because my manager told me literally the Monday of my last week that I need to go back to school in the fall and that they wouldn't be able to bring us back in the fall dealing with COVID and everything, and they don't know how everything's going to shake out. Also, there was a few other things that was going on in the paper department in terms of people retiring and needing to hire new employees, different things like that, just shuffling things around as to why I was not able to go back in the fall. So, came back home, summer break. I didn't even get much of a summer break because I had to, was I working? I don't think I did work because I was a little afraid of COVID. My mom, she caught COVID. She had a really serious case of it. It wasn't to the point where she had to be extendedly in the hospital or whatnot, but it was a serious case. Me and my 3 sisters, we were all, who obviously all lived together or whatnot. Well, you probably didn't know that anyway, but me and one of my other sisters, we caught COVID as well, but we were asymptomatic. So that means we had it in our bloodstream, but we didn't get affected at all in terms of having any symptoms or anything like that. Other sister, she tested negative every time she took the test and things of that nature, but we passed that as well. And I passed the summer semester that I did with 1A and 1B, if I'm not mistaken. And so then I had to go back to school in the fall. So my main objective this whole time, besides just trying to pass classes, I have to find me another co-op. So the good thing about that ambition and that drive is I found one really quick into the semester, but I couldn't take it. It just wasn't going to work out for me and the way my whole life had been going at that point, economic wise too. And so it would have been hard for me to take a co-op to where I knew I wasn't going to be able to definitely support myself and definitely be able to save money as well like I want to do. So I had to decline that, and in essence of me declining it, I think it was like the week before, like the week of the career fair, something like that, or maybe the week after when I officially declined it. But I went to the career fair that semester as well. I think I ended up getting like 2 interviews out of the 4 I was supposed to get. Interview process super long. If you know how career fairs are at big universities, you just know the struggle. But I only got a chance to talk to those 2 companies. I don't even think I got another offer that semester, and it was just really heartbreaking, really crushing, because I didn't know how things were going to work themselves out. I was really starting to lose my faith, my confidence, my ability to be able to gain another co-op, or even just an internship. Like at that point, I was like, I'll take an internship. I just need to get some more work experience, and once I do that, I can just completely focus on school. And so I was all over the place mentally, and I know that definitely contributed to how my semester went as well, with me getting basically like all season like 1B or whatnot. But at the end of the semester, I got a chance to have 2 different opportunities, like I said earlier, with those phone interviews that happened in like December and then like early January, right when the semester started. 2 worst interviews of my life. I didn't get offers from them, obviously, or whatnot. But going back, fast forwarding a little bit to the career fair in the spring semester, career fair this time definitely went better. I got like 3 interviews, like I said. One company, one company actually gave me an offer, which is kind of funny because I thought I might have had a chance to get like 2 or 3 offers this time. But it is what it is. We thank God for what we get. We take it and we run with it. So guess what happened? I took that co-op offer, and I've been working with them ever since May, the middle of May 17th, around that time frame, man. And since that point, I was like really happy that I got a chance to get the opportunity. My mind was definitely relieved. I was more relaxed. I didn't have to worry about getting any more work experience. And I knew after I finished that semester, once I come back to school, I can just finish school and just worry about school, baby, because that's all that matters. So this co-op that I got, like I said before, it's for Centerpoint Energy. They're an energy distribution company. They distribute natural gas, electricity, and I think they may do something else as well. But I'm actually working on the gas side as a gas engineering co-op employee, different things of that nature. And my co-op is not just for the summer and like a certain rotation back. I'm doing the summer and the fall, so there's 2 rotations back to back. And then I'll be going back to the school in the spring, and then we can figure out, well, my plans actually this summer and for the rest of the year, figure out where I'm gonna go in my life after I graduate and what company I would decide to work for. But you guys will definitely get more updates on that later on down the road. But that's definitely what happened career-wise, and dealing with that, honestly, like I said, in the fall, it got to me a little bit mentally, and I know that definitely contributed to me not necessarily want to do my podcast, and me not necessarily want to do my YouTube videos and things of that nature, man. But it's been a long grind, long road, but I'm just thankful for every single moment of it, because I wouldn't be where I am today, and I wouldn't be in the mindset that I am at this point right now either, without going through that journey of that whole year, dealing with that, well, whole like year and a half, dealing with being in a co-op, COVID happening, me having to go back to school, me not really doing well, career fair, different type of interviews, and then me finally landing one and just taking itself to the moon. So that's where we at right now, baby. But on to number 3. So number 3, love life and like friendship life and different things of that, man. So another thing that was really happening to me when I went into my co-op, my relationship with my friends, they all kind of deteriorated. Not gonna lie, 75-85% of that was definitely on me. I should have did a better job of reaching out to them, making sure to stay connected and different things like that. But my mind was on my job, my co-op. My mind was on my relationship that I was in as well. My mind was more on my family and different things like that. And then COVID happening, and I took full blame for that. I've apologized to all of them probably more times than I should have, because all of them pretty much told me like it was no big deal. They understood. I didn't need to apologize and different things like that, but I just wasn't having it. So my main goal when I got done with my co-op was to really sit down and take a look at what things I have been doing in my life that was kind of wrong, and what things I have been doing in my life that was kind of right. And I know one of those things was that I needed to do better was better my friendships that I already had. So for me personally, I already had a small circle, because when I came to Mississippi State, I knew a lot of people. Mainly a lot of them from school, other situations where I knew other people or whatnot, but it wasn't like I knew like half of the campus or half of the campus knew me. That's still not the case now, and I'm actually really glad about that. But anyway, so I only had a small friend group. I only knew a select number of people, mainly because of that summer program that I did doing Summer Bridge. We're coming right in here into Mississippi State before my first freshman semester ever started back in 2018. And so at that point, along in my life and journey and college career-wise, this point I had 5-6 really close friends that I would say, something like that. 2 best friends, and then some other really good friends who are like I'm like pretty close to. Some of them, you know, it's levels to it. Some of them I'm more close to than not. Some of them I talk to more than not. But you know, it is what it is. And coming back to school in the fall, one of my main objectives was spending more time with them. So the fall semester started, and I hung out with like everybody like 2 times or something like that before me probably predictably breaking down again and not being able to sustain the amount of times that I was able to hang out with my friends. During that whole fall semester, I mainly only hung out with one of my best friends, and a lot of those times was kind of more of like she like needed my help or whatever, but at the same time it was like that's just who I seemed to end up with majority of the time. And I felt really bad, especially towards the end of the semester when some of my other friends, especially my other best friend, was getting on to me about like how much she hadn't seen me and different things like that. And I know I wasn't being the best friend and stuff like that, and I had promised them earlier in the semester to do better and different things like that. But I had a chance to see all of them maybe towards the end of the semester before we got out for Christmas break. And then at that point I had another intervention with myself, and I was like, what am I doing wrong, man? All the while I had like 2 or 3 moments with one of my best friends where we really sat down and talked about everything, and I was really expressing how I felt or whatnot. And half of that time I was really feeling bad about it. And then I sat down with my other friends too, and we talked about some other stuff as well. So going into the new year, 2021, I was like, I'm definitely gonna do better. But I ended up kind of doing some of the same stuff at that point too. But also at this time, I started to call one of my friends more. I started to be more open to get on the phone more and different things of that nature. And at the same time, I stopped spending time. Well, it wasn't like me personally, but just the way things played out. My time spent with that best friend that I spent a whole lot with in the fall, it didn't happen that much in the spring. And so this time around, it's more of like a juggling act in a sense, to where I kind of saw everybody equally, because I only saw them so many times during the semester. But also my classes, the way they were the spring semester amped up more than they were in the fall semester, in terms of me doing more work, in terms of me not wanting to necessarily go out on a Friday or Saturday, or just go hang out on a Friday or Saturday, or even a Sunday either. And so I literally had to plan out my whole week. Monday through Saturday, for most of the time, I was doing work. Sundays were my only days where I literally and mentally took those days off about 50% of the time, because I couldn't do it all the time. But about 50% of the time where I took those days off and used it as personal days, used it as days to like recoup myself and things of that nature. But I will really say that I know at that point I really need to do a lot better. And I really realized that I was really kind of in a box in terms of me only having that close friend group. Not to say that's a bad thing, it's a great thing, I love it. But it was like I didn't have any other avenues, I didn't have any other outlets in terms of talking to other people or being able to go see other people as well. And so one of the things that I knew in my head was like, I have to do a better job of making better connections, networking even more, and different things of that nature. And then just making different connections when it comes to like the podcasting space or like YouTube. But that's been really challenging, kind of not like scared of it, but a little timid in the sense that people aren't going to be totally real or like be able to connect on the ways that I want to connect. And so I don't even know how all that is going to go. But it's like you say with anything, you don't know until you try, and you miss every shot you make. I mean, you miss every shot that you don't take. And so I have to take those opportunities, have to take those moments, have to take those chances to try to do something different, try to spark up the room a little bit and get into that. But also, while all that was going on, I wasn't talking to anybody until, what was it, like July, something like that, in the summertime. And a girl had hit me up on Instagram, first time ever anybody has slid into my DMs, man. And we were talking for a good bit, but we stopped talking right before school started. I really don't want to get into the whole crevice of that, but the situation just didn't turn out to work. And so I put myself into a situation where it's like, I'm not going to talk to anybody for a while. And for that whole semester, I didn't talk to anybody. And I actually felt really good about myself. Not like I didn't have sex or anything like that either. I really didn't have a whole lot of other situations. Me personally, selfishly, mentally, emotionally on that side, I was like, I need to find somebody to like cuddle and like different things like that, man. But I got over it for the most part until the end of the semester, and that's when I decided to get. No, I didn't. Yeah, I decided to get back on Be Okay. It's a dating app or whatnot. But out of that, I ended up finding some women to talk to, some girls to talk to, however you want to say it. And that like initial group then, those were really the main people I had talked to all in the spring semester, all in the new year as well. And all those different situations played themselves out accordingly, I guess, how they were supposed to play themselves out. I was really torn between two of them at a certain point in time, and then just torn between my feelings that were like kind of old and long for one of my best friends as well. I'm just gonna tell you what it is, man. Like, I'm not afraid to say what I gotta say, because it's my channel, baby, and so I gotta tell my truth. But also at the same time, just dealing with my thoughts and feelings and how I felt about my ex too or whatnot, even though we had just broken up at that time. Not even a complete year, but getting close to a complete year at that time and everything, man. So I was going through a lot, and majority of it was me putting it on myself, which happens majority of the time whenever I'm going through something. It's self-inflicted wounds, and I really don't even know why I continue to do that. But I've been doing a lot better. Actually, I can put a whole other video on just about my mentality in life and just the different things that I've been going through, especially with college. Not that it's been nothing super serious, but it's like just a lot of mental stuff that's been going on with me, and I've been doing a whole lot better with that now where I'm at in life compared to where it was. But like I said, a lot of that stuff played out how it was supposed to, And when the semester ended, I ended up getting back on BOK again because I ended up getting off of it and like deleting the app, I should say, during the semester. And I actually got back on Tinder too or whatnot. And so I ended up talking to about 8 girls, something like that this time around. And I actually got a chance to meet 2 or 3 of them. I can't really remember. But it was crazy how all that stuff was played out too. Not that any of it was bad at all. All the situations were always good because I'm not the one where I'm gonna put myself into those bad situations or gonna spark up bad situations like that. So that's something I can be proud of myself on, pat myself up on the back for. But at this current moment in time, after everything has played themselves out or whatnot, I found myself only talking to one person right now, and I'm actually really happy about that and different things. And a part of me, you know, the funny thing about that is like, none of that even worked out or whatnot. So your boy is single, lol. And so that's just how it's been since then. Cause when I made this video originally, it was okay at that moment or whatever. But since then, it's changed. So your boy is single. Had to make sure I had that update in there. But back to the video. I didn't even want to say that, but I gotta be open, I gotta be honest, and I gotta let you guys know what's happening. And so if you definitely want to know more about that, you can just ask me about it. But I'm probably not gonna say that in the comment section because it's not the place to get into about it on YouTube. But all that was going on, and to make a longish story short, at this point in time, I'm definitely doing better with my friends as well. I had a lot of talks with them, a lot of moments where we had to really figure some things out, figure out where I was doing wrong, figure out where they may or may not have been doing things wrong. Because like I said, a lot of this was me. And I know I need to do better for myself. I need to do better in terms of these friendships that I have with these people who are like key in my life. And at this point in time, I feel really good. I feel like we're at a great place. I feel like we're at a great headspace as well. And I'm just ready to be able to see them more, talk to them even more than I have been since school has been out and the summer's been going on, and definitely take off from there, because I only have so much more time with some of these friends who I really truly call my true friends, because a lot of them are graduating next spring. And so I have to do what I can to make sure that we stay together and stay strong and keep our connection once they walk across that stage, man, because it's gonna be really hard. I'm gonna be really sad about that, but that's how it is, man. And those were those 3 things that really kept me from not being able to do YouTube or my podcast. But it is what it is, and we back. So that's all that matters, baby. So with that being said, that's the end of the video. Hope you guys really like this one, man. I've had a few other things going on in my life as well, but I can get into that in a completely different sense, or just let you guys know personally if you just really want to know more about your boy. But I'm definitely gonna be back to this grind. Whenever I said I was doing vlogs and different things like that, you know, we're just gonna squash all that stuff because I didn't do what I was supposed to do when I said I was gonna do what I was supposed to do. But we're back, and so that means new beginnings, new awakenings, and I'm definitely gonna be more committed. But at the same time, I'm not gonna put on camera or tell you guys what it is that I'm going to do or what to do. I'm just gonna do it this time and just keep it all up here and let you guys see the fruits of the labor. But like I said, if you definitely hope you guys like this video, man. Make sure to like the video for real, like on YouTube, and leave a comment below. Make sure to keep up with guys on my different socials that I have. Main place to find me probably be Instagram or Snapchat, but I definitely am a little active on my Twitter as well. Or you guys can definitely follow me on LinkedIn too. Definitely need to network more and make more connections and different things like that. But y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Samaj, aka James, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Let's go get it, baby.